Hello guys and welcome to another day with Zimaleta. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you some of the work we were doing on this Chrysler 300 Limited. This is my buddy Serge. He came especially from Minnesota so we could actually work on a different project, but we ended up working on this Chrysler 300 project. He's basically a jack of all trades, and he's actually a master of a lot of trades. And he was actually teaching me how to do the body work, but obviously this is not the way you actually do it. You have to end up cutting things out, and that's actually what he was telling me. But in this type of situation, we actually decided to pull all the damage out and actually straighten everything out, and then just bundle it and then get ready for paint. But normally body shops, they actually cut the stuff out, and that's actually what he was trying to tell me. But even in a worst case scenario, it could be fixed. It's just takes a special type of tools, which I do have for the body work, and as you can see, we are using that to pull it out and stuff. You just have to drill holes in the proper places, make sure you can have your vehicle locked in. In my case, I have 3 trees surrounding this car, so it's kind of like having a frame machine. Although it would have been nice to have like a concrete pad, which I will be pouring at the bottom where this vehicle is at, with some frame machine special type of like ties that tie up to the frame so that it doesn't move. But we basically had to secure it against the other tree. Like we use a couple of trees with some very long rope, and we also use chains to actually just get this thing from moving. So things that we had, we actually used. So right over here, this is actually pretty much day 2 us working this vehicle. Some of the videos will be a little bit out of order, and that's because the way we were doing things, because we were working till late, and then some of the video we didn't get to make while it was late. But anyways, in this video you can see that we clearly pulled this door off. We actually had to drill it in several type of spots so that we can actually pull the door out a little bit, because it was so jammed up when this quarter panel damage actually happened. So getting the door off allowed us to replace it with a new door that we picked it up at the junkyard, and allowed us to basically then, as we pull, we could actually match it up to make sure that everything is correct. In this particular video here where we're pulling things out, we actually realized that the hinges are actually bent on the door. So the very next day we went to the junkyard and we returned the damaged door, got some of the money back for it, and we got the hinges that we didn't get from the day before. As you can see, we're using a tree here, locking everything up with chains and then pulling it out. This is a 2005 limited type of Chrysler, which has a lot of Mercedes type of features, like with luxury and things like that. And I always liked this body design. Me and my wife, we actually both like this car. Even though it's 2005 and it's kind of old, it is still kind of stylish, and we decided to fix it because we really like the style of this car and how it drives, because it really drives comfortable. We have some plans for it. We would like to make it look kind of like so similar to the Bentley type of style. I'm pretty sure that Chrysler, when they were making it, that's the look that they were going for. It's just with a little Chrysler look. But some people turn it into kind of like Bentley look. Some of them the Rolls Royce look. But I think Bentley really suits it kind of like perfectly. Obviously, it's not a Bentley, but it's just popular type of kit that they sell for it. But anyways, you could see these damages here, they're not that bad right now from where you could see it. They were a lot worse. We were just working at night and we got a lot of those damages out. It was actually a lot worse than we thought, because it really dented things in there. If I didn't have these special type of body work pull-out tools, we would not be able to get this damage out as much as we did. But obviously, we were able to pull a lot of this stuff out because I have all these tools that I'm able to work with. And I know I just keep saying it because some of the stuff that I got, I would have not actually been able to do any of this without those tools. And of course, cutting this portion out and getting another one, it actually would be quite expensive. a lot more than we wanted to invest into the car because it is older. It's not like you're gonna get any of that money back. The only time I would really consider cutting this stuff out is if the car is like brand new, let's say like 2018, 2019, then it would be kind of like worth it for me to try to fix it as much as new as possible, because at a junkyard these parts would be all worth about the same anyways, very close. So I wanted to kind of fix this Chrysler on a budget, and the good thing about it, guys, if you are trying to work on a Chrysler 300, the parts are kind of cheap for it, which is kind of awesome. I mean, you do have to kind of shop around a little bit, check different junkyards, but the parts are a lot cheaper. By the way, you see this special tool that we're using, this kind of like an L-shaped type of metal tool. It is kind of heavy duty, and it's actually meant to pull out quarter panels. And it's got several attachments, which actually work really well for pulling out this quarter panel here and just making sure the body lines are straight. Serge is a total pro when it actually comes to the body. He really knows what he's doing. It's like he's sculpting metal. It's really amazing to watch him work. I've really learned a lot from having to work with Serge on this project, and I did my part, mainly just replacing damaged parts with the good ones. I'm pretty good at doing that. Fixing body, definitely I have a high interest because it's kind of like sculpting clay, and I'm basically like a sculptor, except this time you're sculpting metal, so it's a little different type of work. And like with anything, you have to have the proper type of tools. If you don't have the proper tools, then you're just not going to be able to sculpt the metal the correct way. And of course, cutting it out and replacing with a proper piece would be definitely ideal. But you still have to pull it out. It's not like you could just simply cut it out and then you're not going to have nothing to grip onto. So you still have to have some of these puller tools just to get it to the point where it pulls out and it kind of lines up. And then you get in there, cut things out, replace the body panels with newer stuff. That way you don't have to do too much, like bonder work and stuff like that to it. With this vehicle, we are basically trying to use the least amount of bonder as possible. Not that we're trying to be economical. We are trying to make sure that the metal will be shaped to its original position as close as possible, and we really got it to the point where it's really nicely straight, and we just have to basically use some of the Bondo just to finish it off and give it this finished look. Well, we still have to do a lot more to it. Obviously, in this video, we still have a lot to do with pulling out all the this damage here in this quarter panel, just to make everything line up perfectly. But already things are looking up, and they're looking a lot better. Now, if you are trying to learn how to work on body, like I'm doing this kind of stuff before, please subscribe. We will be having some more videos. This video is a little bit out of order, and I just mainly want to talk about what we are doing, but we will be showing a little bit more hands-on, some of the pulling and everything else that we're doing. And of course, you can kind of see in this video as well. Now, these videos, they're not going to be pretty much a tutorial type of video. I mainly want to just show what we're doing, what some of the tools that we're using, and from you to see the kind of damages that we had, and if it's possible to actually fix that kind of stuff. And also probably support some of you guys that are trying to work on your project, just to maybe get some ideas how you could be pulling stuff out, because I think a lot of times you might be a little bit stuck and you're thinking, what is going to be the best way to actually pull it out? Well, in these videos, you're going to see us use a variety of different bodywork type of tools that you have to use ram air to try to, like ram jacks to try to pull things out. Like we are using air in our system, so we don't have to do much pumping at all. I mean, we don't do any pumping. So you just basically step on it to cause the pressure to happen, and then step on it to release the pressure, which actually really makes your job a whole lot easier, because it is very difficult if you have to do this by actually pumping. It becomes kind of like nearly impossible. But In this case, it's kind of like we do have a frame machine. It definitely makes things a lot easier. So we are trying to bend some of the quarter panel fender areas back into its place here, just so that we could continue this original body lines and everything of the Chrysler and just get it as close as possible. This, what you're seeing here, guys, it's actually looking pretty good now. All of this was really bashed in. I'm actually really surprised how much Serge was able to pull all this stuff out. It's really amazing to me because, man, I did not expect to get all these just creases in the right place for the door panels, because I considered making this into a parts car and just pulling parts out, because I just kind of thought the damages are too much. Over here we have this idea. We actually bought some metal plates, and we shaped this metal plate to kind of like go with the fender line. We're not going to keep like that, but we're tack welding it onto it so that we could actually use it as a piece that we could grab it all together and pull out the fender well all in one scoop, and to try to make sure it's going to be straight as possible. And then you have to grind off the welds, and then once you actually grind them off, you could actually knock this piece off. So my job was to basically grind off the welds after he's done, and basically that kind of stuff. But anyways, this is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please subscribe and hit a like if you liked it. Thank you. My name is Serge Zimaleta. I'm 37 years old, and yes, I experienced success after buying my first home for cash. Back in 2011, I was broke, but I learned to solve problems on my own. Now I'm helping others to solve their problems. I know what pitfalls to avoid to stay profitable in business. Need motivation to be more successful in your life? Do you have Sprinter, Expedite, or business problems? Then subscribe. Let's find creative solutions to your problems. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of my helpful videos.